Hi crochet friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Stefania, and today I wanted to take you through Ravelry and show you some ideas for crochet projects you can make with any scrap yarn you may have. If you're like me, I try to reduce waste by saving the ends of skeins and any cutoffs from the projects that I make. If the yarn bits are too short, I keep them in this bag to use for stuffing. The longer lengths I collect and tie together into my own scrappy skein. I'm still saving it up for now, but once I have enough, I may just end up making one of these projects. So let's dive into Ravelry and check out some projects that you can make using your scrappy yarn. I'll include links to all of these projects in the description box below, so be sure to check those out and send the creators some love. If you haven't used Ravelry before, it's really quite simple to find patterns. You'll just go to the Patterns tab, make sure crochet is selected, and then I'll type in scrap as my search term. Of course, you can just scroll through the pattern options here, or you can filter through the options on the side. I tend to select the free option, but if you're comfortable paying for patterns, then you don't need to select this. I also like to select photos so that I can see what the project will turn out like. You can always narrow down your search results further as you like. I've gone ahead and pre-selected 50 different patterns to show off, so let's go through those now. Starting off with decor, I thought these scrap yarn coasters by Floor B are super cute and easy for using scraps if you don't have a lot of a single color. I like how she used different colors crocheted together to create this fun look. These picture frames by La Messer are a really unique crochet idea I haven't seen before. It doesn't seem like these would take up much yarn, which makes them perfect for a scrap yarn project. And how super cute would these be to hang a bunch of pictures up on your wall? Next in decor, I found these scrap triangle bunting by Raffaella Tassoni. It would be super cute to use whatever colors of scraps you have left to make these different triangles. And how cute would these be in your bedroom or decorating your market stall if you're a crochet vendor like me? Another classic project to use your scrap yarn is a basket, like this scrap yarn basket by Sinita Gonzalez. I thought this one was super cool because not only did they use many colors of scrap yarn, but they also gave the idea to use the basket as a plant pot cover. Here's another idea for a basket, this Scrap Happy Harvest basket by Sarah Satch. This one stood out to me because of the fun detailing towards the top of the basket. If you're looking for a fun pillow option, I thought this Millefori cushion by Miriam Vanderbilt is super cute. You can use your scrap colors you have for all the flowers and use a coordinating green to tie it all together. If you have a ton of scrap left over, you may consider making this stripy poof by Esther Degstra. I really like how simple the design is using just stripes, and it's really customizable to whatever colors you have left. Of course, you can also use full skeins if you're going for a specific colorway, but I really love the look of these scrappy stripes. Next, I thought this scrappy rug by Sheila Boyer is also a fun idea. I really like how they combine all the different yarn colors to create this cohesive look. If you don't have enough scraps to make a rug, you can easily make these coaster-sized as well. If you don't want to crochet in circles, here's a striped scrap yarn rug by Sarah Satch you can make instead. This is easily adaptable to whatever lengths of yarn you have and what size rug you want to make. Even the pups will love it. One more rug I found is this scrap yarn rug by Roseanne Kropp. I really like how the different squares use different colors of yarn and yet go well together. This monochromatic version also looks really nice. Moving on to some blanket options, I thought I would start off by showing this more simplistic style. This Scrap Buster Scrafgan Crochet-A-Lawn by Alina Hunt is super colorful. If you're new to making blankets but have a lot of scraps to use up, this would be a fun way to practice crocheting in rows. I really like how they blended different yarns together to create a cohesive colorway. The next blanket option I came across was this Total Knockout Afghan by Crochet Me Lovely. I like that again, you can use whatever colors you have, and the way they are stitched together creates a fun pattern. If you have larger amounts of your scrap yarn and are looking to practice different crochet stitches, this project might be the one for you. It's called the As We Go Stripy Blanket by Hannah Owens, and I thought it was really pretty how they use different stitches to create this textured look. There are a lot of examples here using different colorways, so you can really plan out this project using whatever colors you think will work best. Moving away from stripes, I found this chevron scrap blanket by Maria's Blue Crayon. This looks like a super cozy blanket to cuddle up in, and doesn't look like it would be too difficult to make this impressive design. Next is the Coralie blanket by Kaz of Insomnia Crochet. I thought again this would be a great way to use up a bunch of different scrap colors. You get this fun quilted look in the end. It looks like they have a certain colorway recommended based on a piece of artwork by Coralie Brickford Smith, but I'm sure you can use whatever colors you have on hand. If some of these blankets seem too intimidating, I thought this scrap quilt throw by Catherine Eng was a good option. I haven't looked at the pattern yet, but it looks like you could crochet whatever rectangles you want and then join them with a single edge color. Mima's Scrap Afghan by Amanda Salazar Higgins again seems like a great way to use up whatever colors you have in whatever amounts you have available. Looks like all you have to do is make rectangles of the same width and then join them all together. You can experiment with different edge colors and join together whatever colors you like. I thought this version with the white edges was especially pretty. Even though this next pattern is for a log cabin scrap dishcloth by Cindy of Recycle Cindy, I included it in the blanket section because you could easily make a bunch of these and then join them together to make a full-size blanket, or keep them as dishcloths. But I included it here because I thought it was a unique way to show off different colors and use up whatever scraps you have in the amounts you have. Moving away from rectangular blankets, I thought this hexagon scrap blanket by Canoe Mountain Designs was super funky. There are a lot of hexagon blanket patterns out there, but I liked how this one uses different stitch patterns to create different textures throughout the blanket. If you're looking to challenge yourself, this Scrap Afghan by Joyce Messenger seems like a good idea. I included it here because the way the colors come together is so pretty. And if you're like me, it's fun to try out some new techniques once in a while. Next, I thought I would show you this Hex Scrap Afghan by Christine Jewett. Again, I thought this would be the perfect project to make no matter what colors of scraps you have. You could also make a bunch of hexagons as you generate scraps and collect them until you have enough to make the full blanket. This Flower Scraps blanket by Allie Crafts Designs seems like a fun take. Again, you can create flowers as you create scraps and then later join them all together. If you like the flower blankets, I thought this flower hexagon by Zelna Olivier was a fun idea as well. Again, you can customize it using whatever color you like, and it can grow organically as you create more and more hexagons. A similar idea is this P76 Color Splash hexagon by Venus Colors. What caught my eye was the beautiful way they organized the different flower hexagons to create this interesting gradient. If you look closely, no two flowers are exactly the same, and yet when you bring them all together, they create this beautiful outcome. The next category I thought I would show you is accessories. This scrap yarn beanie hat by Teeny Crochets I thought was a fun way to use up a bunch of different colors. You can wear it in the traditional sense, or even turn it inside out to show off the ends of your yarn changes. Another cute hat idea is the Scrap Buster beanie by Esther Thompson. Again, there are some different stitch pattern techniques used in this beanie, which makes it more interesting to look at. I think it would be fun to see this beanie made in a bunch of different colorways. One more hat option I thought would be fun to show you is this Scrap Busters hat by Jenna Wingate. I thought this was a fun idea, especially with the colorful braid at the end. You can see some people went with a more limited color palette, or even a Santa-inspired version. If you're not quite a hat person, maybe this Scrap Yarn Snood by Marina Russo would be more up your alley. It looks super cozy for the winter time and is in between a hat and a scarf. Speaking of scarves, here's the Scrap Happy Tube Scarf by Goddess Crochet. When thinking of scrap yarn projects, a scrappy scarf comes to mind very quickly. This is a great way to use up the scraps you have, as each stripe doesn't need to be the same thickness. Another cute scarf option is this Scrap Happy Scarf by Shannon Maher. I thought this one was interesting because it is worked in the long rows down the length of the scarf rather than shorter rows like the previous one. And again, you can use whatever colors or different yarn types you have on hand. If you're looking for a more non-traditional scarf, this Scrapalicious Flower Scarf by Juanita Theron seems like a good option. This scarf uses a variety of different flowers to create a mosaic to make your scarf one of a kind. You can use whatever colors you like and make whatever flowers you want as well. It seems like a fun way to use up a bunch of scraps. Now that our heads and necks are warm, I thought I would give an option for our hands, like these Scrap Buster fingerless gloves by Goddess Crochet. Again, they look simple enough to make, and it's great for making with whatever scraps you have. There's a ton of fingerless glove patterns on Ravelry, so take a look and make the one you love the most. If you only have a small amount of scrap yarn left, I thought this Scrap Sock Yarn Hair Scrunchie by Marian Holland would be a great option. It doesn't look like it would take that much yarn, and the final project looks super cute in use. While it's more clothing than an accessory, I thought this Easy Crochet Scrap Pullover by Heather Brooke would make a great addition to this list. It looks to be a pretty straightforward pattern, and like always, you can make it with whatever colors you like. While you're out and about, what better way to show off your love of crochet than to carry a crocheted purse? This Scrap Fringe Bag by Lindsay Dale has a fun detailed fringe on the side. I really like her bold choice of colors here and the little triangle flap at the top. I can imagine this would look cute no matter what colors you choose to make it in. If you have smaller lengths of scrap, you might want to try this Scrap Happy Knapsack by Sarah Satch. I thought this is a really nice shape for a purse, and you can see a lot of different colors of scraps were used throughout this project. One last purse option I found was this Bag from Yarn Leftover by Pernille Thorsen. I really like the look of this bag and how thin the different stripes are. If you have a bunch of small scraps, it would be great to tie those together and make this purse. One of the more unique ideas I came across is this Fearless Necklace by Pia Thadini. It does use some wooden elements for the necklace, but I thought it looked really elegant. If you use many different colors, this would be a cool statement piece. Next, I thought I would share this Scrap Happy Flower by Sarah Satch. While it is just a flower pattern, you could easily attach it to a hat, bag, hairpin, or whatever you want to make it your own. Having a smaller project also means it doesn't take up much yarn, making this a perfect use for all those little yarn scraps you may have. Again, I'm not sure if this technically counts as an accessory, but I didn't want to leave this lavender lace bookmark by Cherie Durbin off my list. It's a really unique bookmark design I haven't seen before, and you can really make it with whatever colors you have on hand. The last category of project ideas I want to share is little stuffies or amigurumi. The creator Stringy Ding Ding has quite a few of these patterns available on Ravelry, including these dogs, cats, pigs, different reptiles, and dragons. These are all really cute, and I love how Stringy Ding Ding posts lots of small patterns, perfect for using up your scraps. This Scrap Yarn Mouse by Eni Skenga is also a super cute option. I love all these little mice friends in different colors, and it looks like the different yarns create different sizes as well. If you're a fan of rodents, you may also want to check out this amigurumi rat by Pia Thadini. What a cute little guy this rat is. I can imagine it would work well in a variety of colors. A more unique idea is this fish scraps pattern by Vivian Clotilde. You don't see many dead fish stuffies out there, so this one is definitely an eye-catcher, even if it is a bit morbid. If you're into creepier crochet projects, this 6-minute eyeball, again by Stringy Ding Ding, is another fun option. Here they made it into a keychain, but I can imagine these would also be a great alternative to candy to pass out on Halloween. Last but not least, I wanted to include the Scrap Buster Holiday Light Garland by Clara D.T. Fisher. You can use whatever colors you like to customize. Even though it's giving holiday vibes, I don't see why you couldn't keep these up year-round. Well, there you have it. 50 ideas of what you can make using your scrap yarn. Of course, there's unlimited possibilities of what you can crochet, but I hope this video has managed to give you some inspiration. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite ideas were, or if you plan on making any of these projects yourself. If you liked this video, it really helps my channel a lot if you hit the like and subscribe buttons and turn on channel notifications. I'm aiming to release a new video every week, including project updates, crochet tutorials, and other craft content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!